Patrick Gaffney here again with Rising Stars Lacrosse. Back to do wall ball session 2. We got Tim here again to help us. Last week we focused on some simple basics: catching righty, throwing righty, catching lefty, throwing lefty, and switching hands. But we did that far away from the wall, about 12 yards, so we could get a nice bounce and really focused on our throwing. Today we're going to take the next step in advancing that and focus on catching and throwing without a bounce off the wall, so you get a lot more reps and it's a little more difficult. Some of the keys we're going to focus on is our hips and how they're facing the wall, and then what we do with our hands when we catch the ball. And the key with this drill that we're going to show you is catching and throwing and getting rid of the ball right away and not holding it in your stick and creating any bad habits like this, spinning it or cradling too long. So we're going to recap what we did last week without the bounce, and then we're going to add some ground ball drills that are key to being a good lacrosse player, in addition to a quick stick drill to help you guys improve having soft hands. Alright, so last week, session 1, we focused on throwing righty and lefty with one bounce in between the throws, allowing us to really focus on our throw and not worrying so much about the catch. Now the next progression is to really not have that bounce in between and get up right next to the wall like Tim's going to do, and get a lot more reps right off the wall. So Tim's throwing it about 10 feet up. It's coming right back just above his head, and he's one cradling out. That's key. He's catching and he's getting rid of it. He's not cradling it. He's not holding the ball. It's one cradle out, getting a lot of good reps. Starts with his hands. He's throwing across his body, so he's turning his shoulders. His hips are turned adjacent to the wall. His hands are just above his shoulders, getting him that leverage. And he's snapping his wrist out with the ball coming back. If you look at his hips and feet, they're nice and loose. They're not planted in the ground. Just like you'd step and throw. Nice and relaxed. Getting the ball back right to his shoulder. Alright, lefty recap from session 1. We got lefty throws and catches with one bounce, really focusing on that throw. And now we're going to progress up to the wall without the bounce, a little more difficult. So lefty without the bounce, throwing the ball about 10 feet up so it comes back. You want to try to get it up right near your head. Have some balls next to you so it's not a problem if you drop it. Right back, one cradling out, getting our hands up just above our shoulders. We're turning our body adjacent to the wall, so we throw across our body. And that all starts with your feet being nice and relaxed and really stepping to the wall when you throw. Now Tim's a natural righty. When he throws lefty, he stops. He doesn't snap his wrists through. And we're working on that with him, where if you watch him throw righty, he snaps through and points to the wall. It's the hardest part about it, but your wrists are what should snap and release that ball from the head of your stick. Right there, he stopped. So we're working on him with that, and you guys should work on that at home as well. Really snapping through, that's where you get your accuracy and your power. Perfecting that release point of when and where that ball leaves the head of your stick. Alright, so this week, session 2, we're adding ground balls and quick sticks. Right now, Tim's doing ground balls off a wall. You don't need a friend. If there's snow on the ground, find a parking lot with a wall. He's rolling it. When it comes back, the key is he's attacking the ball and running through it. Alright, some of the keys that you got to look at is that he's getting low when he scoops. He's scooping righty right now, so his right foot's right next to the ball. His hand's choked up at the head of his stick. He's scooping through the ball, bringing it right to his shoulder, one cradle, and making a good pass off the wall. Youth lacrosse, high school lacrosse, and even the higher levels, the ball's on the ground a lot. If you can get that ball off the grass or the turf, you're a huge asset to your team. It's another possession. It's a chance and opportunity to make a big play on offense and really separate yourself from your teammates. So here Tim's rolling. He's stepping next to it with his right foot. We'd rather have you miss the ball running at it than stand there and wait for it. Because in a game, you got to run through that ball and run to open space. So we get a good, easy roll. Comes back. Tim attacks it, scoops. His hands come right up, and he gets a good throw off the wall. And that's progressing from our righty wall ball without the bounce. Now we're just adding in a ground ball. One cradle up and throw. The quicker you can get rid of that ball, the better lacrosse player you're going to be. Easy roll. Scoops it about 10 yards from the wall. Hands are right up and out. Wall ball, throw and catch. Right back to do another one. Perfect. Wall ball again, ground balls, working on our left hand. Tim's a righty, so it's his off hand. Very important that you can scoop, catch, and throw with both hands so you don't limit yourself as a player. So we got to practice our left just as much as our right. Tim's doing the same thing, same fundamentals, but with the other side of your body. So he rolls it. He gets his left hand up near the head of his stick. He's going to step with his left foot next to the ball. Get nice and low like he did. Scoop through it. He's in a good throw against the wall. And he's going to repeat it. So you got to roll. Bounce. He attacks it. Right up and out. You got to be able to do it with both hands. Make yourself an asset to your team. You don't need to roll the ball fast to start. Nice and easy. Work on that scoop. One cradle up and out of your stick. As you get better and more comfortable with it, you can pick it up. You can bounce it. You can throw it a little harder. The key is that you attack that ball and you don't wait for it to come to you. Last thing for week 2, quick sticks. Right off the wall, right out of his stick. Nice and easy. Focus on your hands here. You turn your shoulders a little bit so you're throwing across your body slightly. The key is to have the head of your stick just above your eye level and throwing the ball high enough where it comes right back to that point. You catch it like an egg, right out. No half cradles. Don't half cradle it. Lastly, like we do with everything, we got to focus on our offhand. We got Tim here doing quick sticks lefty. Very difficult to learn as a player to soften up your hands so that you're not snapping at the ball. The more you do it, the easier it gets. And your keys are, get the head of your stick just above your eye line. Throw the ball high enough so it comes right back to that height. Get your hands up and treat it like an egg. Alright, so that's session 2. Wrapping it up. We progressed to no bounce, righty lefty. We're switching hands. We added ground balls, which are huge. And we added quick sticks to really focus on softening up our hands. Next week we'll progress, add a couple more things on, make it a little more difficult. And if you're having a little trouble breaking your wrist next week, we're going to tune in and check out a couple tips on how to really loosen those up to really improve your accuracy and power when you're throwing. Tune into rslax.com. Thank you for tuning in. Take care. We'll see you soon.